Welcome to the Sunday Gardener, and what we're looking at today is the wild part of the garden, and this we've developed alongside the stream, and this has largely, not totally, but largely been allowed to seed and grow itself. So there are a lot of native wildflowers here: campion, cow parsley, buttercups, docks, bistorta. These have all arrived in the garden by their own volition. Some things that we'll look at we have planted, but you can leave your garden, you can leave a part of it to go wild, and what will arrive are the native plants which are close and native to the area where you live. So these are all plants that are very common all over the UK. Further down we've got water avens, we've also got yellow flag irises, and we've got marsh marigolds. And these are native to this area, and this is what will happen if you leave an area to go wild. You can't completely ignore it, you have to manage the balance, and some garden plants may cross over and seed themselves. So here we have lady's mantle, which has seeded itself from the garden, and there are some hardy geraniums which have seeded themselves. You can either take them out or leave them in. We've left them in, and you will need to manage the balance. So to allow the marsh marigolds to flourish, we've had to take out some of the reeds growing in the wet area because they would swamp them, and you need to keep the brambles under control and have nettles but not let them take over. And we'll have a look further down at the mix of wildflowers further down where the ground is a bit wetter, and you get a slightly different mix of natural plants. Here we are further down in the wild bit, and you can see there's a tremendous mix of wildflowers that have arrived here. Still, the cow parsley is looking beautiful, bistorta, buttercups, forget-me-nots, campion, ragged robin. These are blue irises which have seeded themselves from the garden, but at the bottom are yellow flag irises which are a native. We've got river avens. It's a complete mix. There's ferns, of course there's weeds, there's nettles, there's docks, there's all sorts of weeds in here as well, different types of thistles, and there are butterflies, bees. It's a lovely area, both in terms of how it looks but also for the wildlife. It doesn't take very much upkeep, it takes minimum maintenance, and if you want to set part of your garden wilding, you need to just let nature come in, and over a period of years this is how it may look. It will have slightly different plants depending on where you are in the country, but 90% of this has arrived by itself, naturally self-seeded, and has started to grow. So if you're thinking of creating a wild area in your garden, it might be helpful to know that when we moved into this house, all of this area was just lawn mowed down to the stream. So there was nothing here apart from lawn, and all of this has arrived over the past few years. There were a few marsh marigolds which have multiplied significant, and there were some few flag irises at the very end, but everything else has, in the way of nature, come and taken root over the last few years. So even if you're looking at a piece of lawn thinking, will that really come to anything? Well, yes, look at this, it has. And as I've said, you can always give nature a helping hand by planting or seeding some native perennial wildflowers to add to the colour and collection that you have.